Near Geneva, two impressive valleys, both French and Swiss, meet, the Rhône Valley and the Arve Valley. Both rivers are particularly affected by the fragmentation of their habitat. Many artificial thresholds and dams cut out the riverbeds, alter their functioning, and affect the whole current biodiversity. The extensive urbanization of these valleys explains the important number of weirs. The objective is to make them less obvious and more neutral for the movement of fish as well as for sediment transport. This is essential for the restoration of ecological continuity and for the preservation of the environment. The Rhône and Arve catchments form a complex natural cross-border area. Mountain streams, small and large rivers, they all join in the Arve before reaching the Rhône River. These aquatic environments in both Switzerland and France have been very much disrupted in the last century due to the important development of human activities. Industrial and domestic pollutions were abundant. Aggregate extractions increased and many artificial thresholds and big power dams were built. In the 1990s, management structures were put in place in order to cope with the important degradation occurring in the Arve River Basin and the Geneva area. Their task was to purify water on the one hand and to restore and protect the rivers on the other hand. Thanks to significant financial and human efforts, the ecological river status has been improved and new positive outlooks can be foreseen. However, the problem of habitat fragmentation still remains. The thresholds and dams on the Arve-Rhône River catchment area split these waterways into many sections. The natural exchanges between sections, whether biological, sedimentary or hydrological, are disrupted. Sometimes they are just reduced or completely absent. Scientists call this phenomenon the ecological discontinuity. This aquatic habitat fragmentation can have negative effects on the fish in the Arve and Rhône rivers. In reality, fish have to be able to move freely across the whole river basin in order to carry out the different stages of their life cycle. So, for example, they should be able to go from the Arve to the Rhône and vice versa, or they should be able to join the tributaries or other suitable areas for spawning. After spawning, they should be able to swim downstream to their usual habitat. Juvenile fish should also be able to migrate. Many of them will try to swim downstream to spread out within the river and occupy food-abundant areas. Anyway, fish need to be able to move freely. If their movements are made difficult or impossible, then there is a great risk for some species to become extinct. In order to better characterize the needs of the fish fauna and attempt to bring solutions to the ecological discontinuity problem on the Arve-Rhône River's catchment area, the Departmental Federation of Haute-Savoie of Fishing and Protection of Aquatic Ecosystems and the University of Applied Sciences Western Switzerland Technology, Architecture and Landscape of Geneva agreed to work together to undertake a common, ambitious project.
Alors, le projet ESPACE, c'est un projet donc transfrontalier entre la France et la Suisse, sur le bassin de l'Arve et du Rhône-Genevois. Les objectifs de ce projet sont la thématique principale, c'est la continuité écologique sur le bassin Arve-Rhône. Les principaux objectifs sont de, premièrement, définir l'échelle spatiale de fonctionnalité des populations piscicoles. Donc pour ça, on a pris 5 espèces cibles représentatives du bassin et on va essayer d'analyser quels sont les déplacements, les migrations et de quel espace elles ont besoin. Le deuxième objectif, c'est d'analyser plus spécifiquement la franchissabilité des ouvrages. On a un certain nombre d'ouvrages qui posent problème en termes de franchissabilité sur ce bassin et on a équipé ces ouvrages avec du matériel de télémétrie notamment et on va essayer de mesurer, d'évaluer le nombre de poissons qui franchissent ces ouvrages pour vraiment essayer d'identifier ceux qui posent le plus de problèmes à l'échelle de ce bassin-là.
The first step for the Swiss and the French teams will be to carry out a study of the fish movements in the whole Arve-Rhône territory. Five species representative of the Geneva Basin fish stocks have been chosen. These species are the brown trout, the European grayling, the barbel, the chub, and the European bullhead. The first 4 species are considered as highly mobile and are studied with the aid of 2 advanced technologies. The first one is called pit tagging. It consists in a small pit tag or transponder tag placed in the fish's body cavity after they are caught by electrofishing and anaesthetized. Prior to the tagging operation, detection antennas are placed at key locations on the Arve-Rhône River's catchment area. The antennas detect the tagged fish when they approach and record the individual code of each pit tag. The second technology used to follow fish movements is radio telemetry. As with pit tagging, fish are caught by electrofishing. Here, only adults in good health are selected. They are anaesthetized, weighed and measured before being tagged with a radio transmitter. Two positions for the radio transmitter can be used. Either it is an external tag on the dorsal fin or an internal one in the abdominal cavity. Once awoken, the fish are released in the river and the radio tracking can begin. The position of each tagged fish can be found precisely thanks to an antenna connected to a mobile receiver. All the valuable collected information will enable the scientists to define the life area of the 4 studied species. It will give information on overcoming the obstacles and on the efficiency of the water crossing devices. This tracking will also inform us on the needs of the fish in terms of downstream migration, especially for the managers of power dams on the Rhône River.
Les barragistes ont tous une concession et dans le cadre de la concession, non seulement liée à la loi fédérale sur les eaux, mais à la loi fédérale sur la pêche, il y a obligation de créer des ouvrages de franchissement et essentiellement des passes à poissons qui permettent aux poissons de monter. Mais avec la nouvelle ordonnance sur la protection des eaux, il y a pour les barragistes l'obligation aussi de construire des ouvrages qui permettent aux poissons de rejoindre l'aval des barrages.
The first step of the space program devoted to the tracking of fish movements reaches completion. It is now time to proceed to the second part of the program.
Alors la deuxième partie du programme va concerner la fonctionnalité physique. Cette fonctionnalité va consister en une compilation des données existantes sur le milieu, comme par exemple le suivi de la température ou le nombre d'ouvrages sur le bassin. Et ces données vont être confrontées aux données biologiques, à savoir par exemple les déplacements des poissons ou le nombre d'espèces présentes. Et l'aboutissement du programme ESPACE est de créer un outil d'aide à la décision pour restaurer la continuité écologique. Et cet outil aura la forme d'un logiciel ludique qui va être créé de manière collaborative avec les futurs utilisateurs qui sont les gestionnaires de l'eau.
There is still a lot of work awaiting the scientists. The study of the mobility of the 5th fish species, the European bullhead, still remains and will be accomplished using an innovating and surprising technology: genome analysis. How can one approach this complex modelling phase? What will be the final lessons resulting from this ambitious program?